People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right. This week it's just Natalie and I, and we are on the verge of.
We're gonna be on an airplane in let's see, 8 hours. No. Yes. 8 hours.
We're on the verge of vacation. We're so close. It's right there. And I still have so much to do.
I just want to go to bed.
When you're listening to this, we'll be in Las Vegas, but we had to film it ahead of time because I can't edit everything in Vegas. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-film it, record it, and then put it up. But Natalie, you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
So finally,
I'm
after
a little anxious about leaving my babies, but I'm excited at the same time. Excited and nervous all at once, I guess.
I was talking to Willow earlier, and she's like, I was just telling her how excited I am about this trip and how I feel like a little 7-year-old kid. I get to hang out with Penn and Teller. I was texting Penn today. I was texting people with Copperfield staff. I was texting all my magic friends out in Vegas. And I told her I just feel like a little kid that's hit the lottery. I mean, it's all just seems so unreal. You know what I mean? Like my life has changed because of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, well, yeah. And I said, thank you for taking care of my babies because I wouldn't be able to do it if you weren't here. And she said, well, at least this trip is planned. And I was like, what does that mean? Last time she watched the kids, you were in the hospital for a whole summer and it wasn't planned at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. But I told her, I said, so the babies are easier now, though. I mean, you can leave them in the living room and be in the kitchen cooking and something, and they can watch TV and play by themselves. Whereas when they were babies, she said you really couldn't leave them. You had to be.
Yeah, well, they were 1 at that point. It's the summer before they turned 2. And I don't know. I guess I wasn't really cognizant of the fact that she was by herself most of the time. Like, it makes sense looking back on it. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. But I guess I didn't realize it then. And my parents were coming and going, and you were coming and going. And I don't know. It just seems different. We're going to be across the country, not just, down the road.
But when I was in Vegas last time, how many times a day did I call you?
A lot.
So I imagine we'll be doing that with the kids.
I'm sure.
They'll be tired of hearing from us, but we'll be checking in constantly. And FaceTime makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
My first gig away from home, I was 19 years old. And I was a month away from home, living on a farm, doing the Halloween stuff. Nailing nails on my nose, eating fire, walking up a ladder of razor sharp swords, decapitating people. All magic. Wasn't for real. And you didn't have FaceTime back then. So I called my mom like once a week. But I call you 10 times a day.
Yeah.
It's just different. Things are different.
I know, but it's still.
I feel very much more connected.
I'm just saying, if something happens,
yes.
I'm across the country. It's not like we're right there 45 minutes from home or across the country.
Well,
but I have a list of like all the neighbors and their phone numbers. They all said we'd be more than happy to have her call us and help her out if she needs something. There's a lady from church that said, give her my number. I'm here if she needs anything. So she's got support if she needs it. So since we have all that information, all those numbers, and I've given her all the doctor's numbers, and I've got everything all set for her, hopefully none of it will be needed.
It'll be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're out of the woods with all the sickness and everything. Everybody's over. Natalie had a bout with her chest pains just 2 days ago. Yeah. So now we have 2 to 3 weeks where she'll be clear. So it's on this trip. She'll be clear.
Should be good.
You should be good.
Unless something funky happens.
Lex had a fever.
Yeah.
And that wasn't good.
That scared me because I thought he kept his fever for a few days. And I was worried. He was hot, like hot. But he had an appetite, but he was lethargic. I mean, he'd get up and play for a few minutes and then lay down for a little bit, that kind of thing. But he was hot.
And we have 3 digital thermometers. All of them have dead batteries.
Yeah.
So it's easier just to buy a new thermometer than trying to size that exact battery.
By the time we got it, he was still warm, but it wasn't a bad fever. But anyway, so he's, I was just worried, like, oh my, we're gonna have to squeeze in a doctor's visit, which I will 100% do. Before I go, I don't know when we're gonna squeeze it in and make everything work, but we'll do it. Or, I don't want to leave him sick. But he started cooling down, and we didn't end up having to take him to the doctor. So, I mean, he hasn't had any medicine since early this morning.
The first night, Sunday night, we got home from church. It was Sunday night, wasn't it?
It was Sunday evening. Yeah, he was fine at church, happy, good, going. But like that evening,
I was doing office work. He's there sitting behind me, playing in the living room, watching television, and I'm doing office work. My back's to him, and I just hear a, and it's a different kind of whine. It's a different kind of whine.
Yeah.
And then, bleh.
Yeah.
And then Julian's backing up from him, going, ew. It was awful.
Yeah.
So Willow goes downstairs. God bless her. She starts cleaning up that. Natalie takes Lex in the bathroom and takes care of him.
Up, yeah.
And Julian had a little, what do you call it? Little splatter.
Yeah.
He had a little, what do you call
shrapnel?
it? He had a little shrapnel. So I took his shirt off. That's all he got hit. And then I set him in a high chair and started playing toys. Cleaned him up still. We Lysol wiped him down just in case. And had him watching an iPad while you guys were. And that was my job. But Willow Lysol him down. I just took his shirt off. And I take him to the other room. But I'm doing something because I can't handle the puke. I'll get sick. I can't do it. And I tell him I feel like a baby. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's awesome that Willow doesn't mind stepping up and helping. Because, I mean, if not, I'm just in with Lex, helping him finish puking, wiping him up, comforting him. And then I have to go clean up puke afterwards.
And Lana helped. Lana ran upstairs and took the old dirty clothes and got new clothes for you. Yeah. Lana was a help too.
She did. She said, what do you need, Mom? Well, I need a diaper. I need this, that, and the other thing. She went and ran and did it. So,
but him sitting back going, ew. Well, all this was going on was hilarious. It made it so funny, but it wasn't because it was a lot. But it made it funny. But he also, who did the funny thing the other day in the bed?
Julian. I was giving the boys baths, and Julian went first, and so I had to run more bath water for Lex, and Julian was all clean and in his new PJs, and he walks in the bathroom because I hadn't taken him downstairs yet to switch boys. And he looks at the water running and he goes, "Yeah, baby." I'm like, where'd that come from?
Where does it come from?
I don't know. But yeah, their responses to some things are pretty funny. But anyway, Lex seems to be better. He might be a little warm, but I don't even know that he's a little warm anymore.
Doesn't have a temperature.
It might just be me being paranoid at this point. So thank goodness. And Julian never caught it. Knock on wood. So we should be good.
And we have a thermometer. If something does happen, Willow can check their temperatures to make sure he's not gonna have 105 temperature. And Willow said, I didn't know. He felt warm, but
yeah,
she'll know. And it's an underarm kind, so that's easy for him.
And the weird thing was he puked the one time, and then by the next morning he wanted to eat. He was good to go. It was just a fever for the next 2 days. A really hot fever. I don't know
some bug you picked up at church.
I guess so. But I'm glad only one of them. I'm glad it didn't get passed around.
Do you guys Purell them after church? We Purell them after shows. You're not Purelling after church.
And we're not in the RV. We're in my car. But I have a little thing of...
You need to start passing it back. Because they're playing in the daycare center with all those other kids.
You're right.
Playing with those toys. I've got a whole list of notes of stuff to talk about here. Joining church. You were talking about church.
Oh, yeah. We joined our church last week. So we had a couple of things going on. We've been going there since the beginning of January. And just from the first moment we walked in, they were really welcoming. They loved our kids. They've loved on our kids. They've, it's just been...
They've been over backwards for our kids.
Yeah.
Our kids are like the only kids at the church. And one lady teaches Lana in Sunday school.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to have a team of people there is 3 other little girls at the church.
Mm-hmm.
but they have to have a team of people to babysit.
They have 2
kids.
people in there.
But they switch out from Sunday school to church.
Yeah. 2 people during Sunday school, 2 people during church. It's the same 2 people for Sunday school each week. The Sunday school teachers are the same, but during church service switches around.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been really, really nice and welcoming, and so we were like, we'd like to switch our membership to here, and so we went up last Sunday, and he announced it, and then of course they do the whole thing of raise your hand if you'll accept them, and everybody did.
Number one, I didn't
know
know that was a
Wes.
thing. I didn't know that they had to vote on if we could be a member of the church. I mean, we're paying our tithe. We're good people. I don't know. I figured they'd be all right with it. But they're like, no, we kind of have to. It's just political or whatever. You have to.
Yeah, it's just a thing.
It's a procedure thing we have to do. So they did it behind closed doors, but then they did it like out in the open in front of
The congregation did it. So yeah, I think it's the deacons or something. They all go, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And then when we came up, everybody just raised their hands. Everybody raised their hands, and Wes looked over at me and goes, yes. I'm like,
and everybody started laughing, but I'm in front of everybody. I'm like, I didn't know this was yeah. Well, that's good news that we got in, because man, that had been awful thing. You just said, hey, go start walking.
Yeah.
Well, so, you weren't that great anyway, people. We were blessing you with our presence, but whatever.
You're funny. But anyway, so now we're members of that church, and I'm loving it. It's 5 minutes from home. It just seems so much easier to get up and go because it's just 5 minutes from home, and then we're home like that, and it's nice. And then Lana is going to get baptized, and
on Easter Sunday.
Yeah. So she had brought it up, but it was right when we started first visiting there. It was like after the first week we went there, we were talking about it, and I was like, well, let's wait. And,
it came up in
school.
In
yeah,
school.
It came up in school, in our Christian portion of school, talking about how baptism is a sign of your belief, and a public sign of your belief. And she was like, well, I haven't been baptized. And he was like, well, do you want to be baptized? Yeah, I want to be baptized. Okay, let's go to this church for a little bit before we ask them to baptize you. And she's like, okay. And then we brought it up, and she's uber shy these days. She's totally fine on stage for magic shows, but she's shy in every other aspect. So she wants to get baptized, but she's nervous about getting baptized. So anyway, I think she's getting more comfortable with the idea. And so we won't be here this Sunday because we're going to be in Vegas, which is Palm Sunday. But then we will be back in time for Easter. And it works out well because my parents can come for Easter and for her baptism and get to see it. And she's excited that they're going to be there for her baptism. And I don't know, I'm just excited that she's.
Yeah, some other lady at church said I was baptized on Easter too. What a great day.
Yeah.
What a great day to do it. So
I'm excited. I'm very excited for her.
It'll be a fun Easter. It won't be the same old Easter.
Is it weird if I take pictures? Like, am I allowed to take pictures?
Is it weird if we videotape it?
Okay.
I don't know.
I want to take pictures. I wouldn't see why it would be a bad thing to take pictures of your child getting baptized, right?
We probably have to be up there.
Look at my dad take pictures.
There's people that have baptisms in the river, and I've seen the videos on YouTube.
Okay. Well, I'll get my dad to take pictures.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, I'm excited for her. She's a little nervous. She wants to do it, but she's a little nervous. But she'll be all right.
But the pastor came over to talk to us about joining the church and about Lana getting baptized. And we were talking to them, and we had a good time. I brought him upstairs and showed him some magic in the magic room. He and his wife came over. And that day he had talked about going hunting during his sermon for some reason, deer hunting.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, well, I got a gun range out back if you ever need to get your sights in, because he lives in a city. So it's not when do you get your sights in? How do you get your sights in? You live in a city.
Go to a gun range.
Right. So I said, I got one in the backyard. How long is it? How far is it? How wide? Well, I mean, it's kind of made for a handgun, but you can go down the trails if you wanted to. And so I think he's going to come back out and we'll shoot a little bit. Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, talking about Lana being shy though, she just had her musical, was it
Musical theater performance.
musical theater?
Yeah. She's been taking musical theater classes. It's been once a week for the past 10 weeks, and she has absolutely loved it. So, you know, it's not just singing on stage. She had lines and talking and singing as well and everything, the whole shebang, and dancing and everything. And
But I think she's taking it way seriously. Like
she is.
she's like, I gotta remember these lines.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, wait, mom, that's her line for that one song. She had to walk out and say, wait, mom.
Well, yeah, but she was more nervous about the part in The Little Women because she had sentences upon sentences. She had a lot of lines, one right after the other, for The Little Women.
You've watched the tape over and over. I don't remember, but she'd have both. She'd have both earbuds in, and I'd be like, Lana, what are you doing? Why do you? I am studying. She's listening to the songs so she can remember the lyrics. She's listening to the plays. She goes to bed early. She's hiding from the family, is what I say. But she's not really in bed. She's just in her room and shutting the door. What are you doing? I'm reading my script.
Yeah.
So
she really wanted to have her lines down and do it perfect. She really wanted to have the dance steps down and the singing down and all of it, which I think is great. I think it's, I'd rather her put a lot of effort into it than just poo-poo it and then.
But is it because of a show business family that she's really, really hard on herself? Because when I do a show and I step on my tongue for 1 second in an hour-and-a-half show, I come backstage and tell you, was that bad? Was that all right? Did you hear I got tongue-tied that one part?
And she has a mom who's a perfectionist, so she's getting it from both sides.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she was shaking like a leaf.
Yeah.
Even after we were having lunch, she said, look, I'm still shaking. Honey, why? You're on stage all the time.
But it's different. She's on stage with us all the time, but she's with us and she knows exactly what she's got to do, and she doesn't really have speaking parts beyond abracadabra, and she's not dancing and singing. This is completely different.
Yeah.
She's on her own, you know? I mean, she's got the other little girls up there, but she's
I
not
told
with
her
her parents. She's up there singing and dancing. It's just completely different.
And I don't have stage fright. There's nothing that bothers me. It doesn't bother me a bit.
Ever?
I'll be a fool in front of people. Ever?
Yeah, like when you first started going on stage, you weren't nervous as a kid?
I guess it's just been so long. I mean, I did show choir in school.
That's choir though. You're in a group of people. If you mess up, it's not likely somebody's going to hear it. I'm talking about, did you ever have a part where you were going out by yourself saying your lines or going out having a solo singing?
So when I was 18 years old, I remember working a nightclub, and the guy that owned the magic shop was in the audience. And it got in my head that he knew every trick I was doing because I bought every trick from him.
Mm-hmm.
So that just really got in my head. So that made me nervous.
Okay.
But it wasn't because I was on stage. It was because I was hyper focused on him. So I worried about that for Penn and Teller when I was going up Penn and Teller. And I was thinking about everything that could happen wrong for Fool Us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if I would go back to that kid, childlike. Well, they know everything I'm doing,
but
so
I'm
hyper focused on
that. I remember.
Oh, I was doing push-ups. I was doing everything I could.
Music in the hotel room.
Jogging in
place.
place.
We didn't go anywhere that day. We stayed in the room. We did not go anywhere.
I didn't want to break my ankle getting in and out of a taxi. I didn't want to mess something up.
See, you were nervous.
I didn't want to mess something up.
Nervous, and that was a different situation from what you're normally used to.
That wasn't nervous about being on stage with Penn and Teller. That was I didn't want to be in a car wreck. I didn't want to be behind people in Vegas.
You were nervous. You had nervous energy, honey. If you didn't have nervous energy, you wouldn't have been doing push-ups and get yourself psyched up. That's nervous energy.
I told Lana,
and that was
I was afraid I was going to get nervous. And if I get nervous, I get real red cheeks. So I figured if I wore myself out, I wouldn't have any energy left. And you're like, that doesn't work that way. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to get it out of me. I don't know what else I can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I didn't do this. I wasn't like this.
I'm not saying not everybody shakes when they're nervous.
Yeah.
You get red-faced when you're nervous, which is weird because I watch you and I'm like, why is he nervous right now? Because your face will just bloom up. I'm like, what's going on?
I have no idea.
Why is he red? But anyway, I think it was a different situation. Just like Fool Us was different. It was different than what you're used to. This musical theater performance is different than what she's used to when she's in front of everybody. So she was nervous.
Mohican Sun was different than what we're used to because they're telling us you're only allowed to do a 30-minute set. You're only allowed.
But it's
they
the
introduce
same.
us
You're
weird.
still going up and doing magic. You're doing your magic show. It's not. It's.
I'm doing snippets from my show in front of their audience. They're not.
So. It's an audience. It's weird.
It's not our show. Yeah.
That's not something you get nervous for, really. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
I don't do this for. I mean, she's saying through lunch she was still shaking, and she's like, "Dad," and then she's got off stage and she was chugging water. She says, "Is it weird that my tongue is just like completely dry?" Dang on, kid, you're on stage every night. And I told Natalie, I said, it's not like she went in front of a corporate audience, in front of 300 people 12 hours ago. Yeah.
It's just different, Wesley. It's not the same what she's used to. That's different. So
anyway.
But she, despite being extremely nervous, she loved it. She had a great time. She did a wonderful job. She got all her dance steps. She had to have help with like one line, I think. And
but it went like this. She went and when she went down, the lady was like, "So Sophia." And then Sophia.
And
it was just that. That was all it was.
She spoke up, she spoke clearly, it wasn't robotic, like she had inflection in her voice. I'm really proud of her.
I was afraid of her projecting because that's something that I yell at her about a lot.
Yeah.
Speak up. The pastor will say, "How you feeling?"
And speak clearly.
Yeah. And she really does put her head down. And, okay.
Right.
Honey, he's talking to you.
Yes. Well, we've had many conversations.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was very, very proud. She did really, really good. And then she has two girls who were friends before the class. We went out to lunch afterwards as a celebratory thing, and we invited them too. So their mom and those two girls came to lunch with us, and we had a good time. That was good. It was fun. It was a good day. It was a Lana day. And I really wish that the boys could have come with us, but with Lex being sick, we just decided to leave him home. But I was thinking that yes, it would have been more chaotic having them with us and having them try to sit through the show, but I think they would have liked it because it was a lot of music.
Yeah.
1. 2, I think they would have thought it was really cool to see their sister up on stage. But you know, she wants to do it again in the fall, which, whoops, I got to sign her up. She wants to do it again in the fall. So hopefully everybody will be nice and healthy and they can come see her performance then. But yesterday they had to go home. Stay home since Lex was sick. So
I thought I lost the notes, but I haven't. But yeah, it was really good. Really nice theater.
Oh yeah.
Really nice place.
It's at a church, but they have they call it Encore Academy. It's held there, and they have musical theater. They have all sorts of private music lessons. They have ballet, which Lana wants to start up again in the fall. They have
every instrument you could think of.
Yeah.
They teach that.
A whole bunch of stuff. I think they have a choir that you could join. They have all sorts of stuff. So yep. Very awesome.
And the kids played outside all week. It's actually been nice. Looks like spring. Seems like spring.
Last week was so nice. And then it got chilly.
Yeah.
Last couple of days have been chilly. But last week was so nice. We went outside every single day. And then every single day we had to give the boys, or not we, I had to give the boys baths every single night because they go outside and they are 100% boy. And they play in the dirt and they throw dirt at each other.
Pick up dirt and sprinkle it on the other kid's head.
I don't know
and
why.
Then take turns.
I don't know why Santa thought it was a great idea to bring a sandbox, but oh my gosh.
You don't argue with Santa.
You know.
You don't argue with Santa.
It seemed like a really sweet, cute idea on Christmas Day. But now that we have it and they play in it and they get it everywhere. It's in their hair. It's down their shirts. It's in their diapers. It's in their socks and their shoes. And
you have to take their shoes and beat them because they're down in the toes.
You gotta go and then lift up their shirt and do that to get them to walk in the house. You take their shoes off before they go in the house and have to beat their feet to get
Because
all the
if not,
sand
there's
off.
sand footprints all the way through the hardwood floors.
It's, oh my gosh, it's
She now-
everywhere. They change color when they go outside.
She now makes them jump on the trampoline before they come in the
I
house to get all the
do.
sand off.
Yes. I'm like, okay, we have to go inside in 30 minutes. Sandbox is now closed for the day. Go jump. It works.
For 90% of it. It doesn't get it all off.
It gets a lot more than if they didn't jump. But yeah, needless to say, if they go outside and play, they're going to need a bath. Because, I mean, if they're not in the sandbox or jumping on the trampoline, they're digging like animals in the dirt. I mean, seriously. I kid you not. I looked over and Lex had his legs spread and was face down in the dirt, and just, you saw dirt going. He was digging like this, and dirt
Like a
was
dog.
flying behind his butt. Yes, like a dog. I mean, it was going under and flying back behind his butt. I'm like,
Was that
oh
next
my
to the
gosh.
chimney?
Yes. Mhm.
We're gonna have holes over there.
Yeah.
He's digging up our
We
foundation.
have holes. Yes, they love it over there. And then there's rocks over there, and they like to throw those.
They throw them in the yard where you're
Yeah.
gonna mow and hit the window and shoot it through the window.
I don't face the window, that on purpose, because there's always been tons of rocks. So I only go one direction over there and then do a big loop. So it shouldn't shoot, hopefully.
Well, while they're outside, because they get quiet time from 4 to 7, that's when they go in their room, whether they play with their toys in their room, play on their iPads, or take a nap. It's quiet time.
Just
So-
winding down time.
While we have them outside, let's go feed the animals with the ducks and the chickens and the bunnies and the birds and the new baby
They
chicks
love
we
doing
bought.
that, yeah.
But what do they do as soon as they get in that place?
They play in the dirt. So he has hay down in the outside area. They like to pick that up and throw it at each other.
Or throw it
And then
into chickens?
they have cedar bedding on the inside of the place, and they like to pick that up and just sprinkle it or throw it at each other. They have so much fun, but it's such a mess, but it's so cute at the same time. You can't begrudge them having fun. They do wear themselves out. If they go outside, quiet time is a nap.
Yeah.
They'll fall asleep within 45 minutes of being upstairs. At the most, 45 minutes.
And even with Lex having his fever, he would lean over the living room and look outside. Outside?
Yeah. But it was too cold when he was sick.
Yeah.
It got cold.
But he got so mad that one day, I guess it was Monday, he got so mad that we had his shirt off because he had that fever. And he was taking Tylenol. And his fever just wasn't breaking. I'm like, it's too cold. Please. And he puts his lip out. Please. So I just opened the door and let him go on the back porch. And he walked all the way to the steps at the other end of the back porch and kind of looked at me, and I wasn't coming. I'm like, it's cold, right? Come on in. And
Yeah.
he ran right back in the house.
Well, I told you, I said it might feel good for him out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, as
Yeah.
hot as he is. It might be like, this is nice.
But our baby chicks, I put them in a cage. After all these years, I finally got a situation where one year we had a chick pulled through the cage by I think it was the rooster, because it seems like the chickens don't do this to them. But somebody pulled a chick through
Maybe.
and killed it.
Yeah.
Like it got stuck getting pulled through the cage. So we put the cages up higher so they can't reach it to pull it underneath. And then on the sides, they were jumping out the side because the cage wire's too thick on the sides. But it's only like 1.5 inches. But they're such a tiny baby chicks. And it's all feather fur.
Yeah. Fluff.
It's all fluff. So they're littler than what they look, I guess. And somehow they're making it through. So I have cardboard barriers up that I've had year after year that I put up. But there's one chicken, one baby
little
chick. I have no idea. Houdini
Yep.
somehow is getting out of this cage. It would have to jump up 4 inches high and then go and then squeeze through a bar.
Right. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it.
Me
I don't
neither.
get it.
I don't either. I don't.
And it's still
There's
squeezing
no
through 1.5 inches.
There's no hole. We checked. We've checked everything. There's no holes. There's no. I don't understand how she, the girl, how she did it.
The first couple of times, I thought Lana was feeding the animals and it just ran by her arm and jumped out. But she promised me it didn't. And then
Yeah.
the next day, I go out
Jumping
after
up,
I
yeah.
fed, and it was out. It
Yeah.
was just pacing underneath on the ground.
Dude, there was one night we went out there, could not find the little baby chick. And we were like, oh, I mean, you'd think if something happened to it, there would be little fluff somewhere.
No, not in a little chick. You barely
Dead
have
body.
anything. Yeah.
Something. I would think you'd see something, Wes.
Now you don't see that when something gets
But
a chicken. You see a couple feathers out of a whole chicken.
you see feathers. You see feathers. But anyway, there was no dead body. We were trying to find it forever. And that little chick had gone. I mean, it's the furthest inside you can get on the inside. Got all the through the door, around the outside, around the side of the cage. I mean, it was practically the furthest it could get away from home, hiding in a corner.
And usually when they're
Perfectly
lost,
fine, not even dirty. Like,
and usually when they're lost, they go eep, 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 eep.
yeah, she had been quiet.
She was hunkered down for the night because it was dark.
Yeah, but we found her, put her back, and just done that quite a few times.
Wait, it was
she
a
hasn't
35.
gone that far. She hasn't gone that far.
That night, it was a 35, 45-minute hunt.
Oh, and it was getting cold too.
But it was a hunt that night.
It was a hunt. We were looking everywhere.
I called Natalie out to help me. She helped me for 15 minutes, and I gave up, and I said, I'm sending Willow and Lana out.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I kept looking in the same places. Gave them both flashlights, and I was watching the boys.
Yep.
And they called me, and they said they found it. I'm like,
Yeah.
Is it alive?
Lana found her. And because we were looking, I told Willow, I said, I don't know where else to look. I've looked everywhere. So she was really looking everywhere again inside and slowly making her way outside. She had just gotten outside the door, kind of a little bit past it. And Lana goes, she's over here. And she found her behind that flipped over little container that just lay sideways.
Yeah.
You saw the bunny end the other day. But yeah, so luckily she hasn't gone that far again, right?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, she hasn't got out the past couple of days.
That's good. She's getting too
So
big.
I think so.
Good.
But
we need to put the little cupcake things on them again.
they're all too big already.
They're too big already?
Yeah, we
I thought they would have been good size right now.
We got cupcake liners on them, and it made it look a little dresses.
Yeah, it's so cute. Well, we'll have to do that next time. We get chicks.
Talking about chicks and baby chicks and all that, we dyed Easter eggs.
We did dye Easter eggs.
And the boys got
since we're gonna be gone and we're not getting back, and we're getting back like to the house at 1:32 in the morning on Thursday before Easter, we were like, well, let's do Easter eggs before we leave. So we did that last Saturday as our little family time in the evening. And yeah, we got the boys to help. We were thinking they would have fun just trying. We had a kit that you put rice in these bags, and then you put the dye in the rice and mix it all up. And then you put the egg in the bag, and you can close the bag. It's like a Ziploc type of bag that they gave you, and you can shake it or rub it around. So we let the boys do that. They liked shaking it, which is nerve-wracking. Broke one egg, but only one egg. So that was impressive.
Well, they shook it and hit the table and then shook it some more. I don't think that was on purpose. I don't think he was banging on the table. I think he was shaking it.
Yeah. So they dyed, I think, 3 eggs each. And then they put stickers. Each of them put stickers on 2 of them. They put little Spider-Man stickers on 2 of them. And then they were kind of done, which 3 years old, that worked out fine, because then the rest of us just divvied up. We didn't even divvy up, just started taking eggs and started dyeing them the old fashioned way in the vinegar and little tablets, and then drawing pictures and yeah, you do the little white crayon. And I want to try next year the shaving cream thing. Someone said you could use whipped cream. You just put whipped cream in a bag or shaving cream in a bag with the food coloring in it, and then just.
You have to wash it off?
Mm-hmm.
You showed me a TikTok video or something, and the person did it, and their hands didn't have any coloring on it. The egg just looked perfect. And it's like, did you wash it off? What did they do? They got to get the shaving cream off of it.
Probably. I think they wiped it off with a paper towel.
Wouldn't that smear it more? The marbling? I don't know. Anyway,
maybe you take it out and let it sit. Like that's what the thing with the rice said. You just put it out and let it sit, and even though there's rice on it, just let the rice sit on it for a good 30 seconds. Excuse me. Then pick it up and rub the rice off.
I didn't do that. I picked the rice off in the bag as
I know. I tried to tell you, but you didn't listen.
I didn't listen. I just didn't care.
Okay.
I would give that a C. It works, but it wasn't. It didn't
It
look
was
like
an
the
old
box.
kit. It was an old kit too, though. We had it for, this was like the 4th year we had it, and we just hadn't used it.
Yeah.
And so it was in our attic, and so I don't know. If
Well,
all
after
of the
Easter,
dye
everything
got
gets
out.
like a dime for a whole kit, so might as well buy 4 dimes. You know, four of them. Get
Yeah.
4 boxes.
But that was a good way for the boys to dye the eggs.
Yeah, it works.
Instead of putting it in, because I don't know how we would have got them to put it in what you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would have had to dye it for them and then have them just put on stickers. So at least this way they got to do something fun with the egg and then put on the stickers.
Yeah.
So, and they were all smiles. They were all smiles doing it.
You got some cute pictures of your Facebook stuff.
I
I'll put it on the
did, yeah.
Facebook group, but yeah.
And then
for the
Lana,
podcast.
oh my goodness, she's got patience when it comes to art, but she wants to do these intricate things. So she dyed her first egg. She dyed her egg. She put stickers on it. Then she took a wooden stick. What do you call it?
A tongue depressor.
Tongue depressor. Dipped it in a different color dye and started making clouds above her little scene she made with stickers. She did really good. And then all her other eggs, like she's got half dyed this color and the other half dyed another color, and then it looks like a sunset, and then she drew on it with pencil.
A house with a driveway.
Yeah, I thought it was a church. Didn't it have a
I don't know.
cross on top? And it just, she does these intricate things, and I'm just like, wow. I just stick mine in the dye and stick a sticker on it and say Happy Easter.
And hers last year, she did a chick coming out of the egg. And she hand drew that, and it was just,
that was good.
It was like, that's the best one. I can't compete with that. So
Yeah.
I'm just over there I was playing music and just playing music for the family. I was just Mr. DJ. I'm like, Lana wins. I'll just play Mr. DJ over here.
Yeah, but she did. Well, we had to do something. I got 2 18-count cartons. It's the only time we have to buy eggs is Easter, so we can dye them because all our chickens lay brown eggs. But that would have been too.
Different shades of brown. Some of them are light brown, some are dark brown, but none of them are white.
She'd still be dyeing eggs if we let her do all those eggs.
She would be.
She takes her time, and she does really good. Her eggs are the best out of anybody's eggs.
Well, she's a really good artist.
She is.
If I let her, if Dad didn't have to say, honey, you got a project on the dining room table, you got a project on your school desk, you have a TV tray in our office that she's watching television doing that.
Yeah.
She's got another project in the playroom upstairs for your birthday that she's working on.
Yeah.
And who knows what's happening in her bedroom. So she's got all these projects going on. I'm like, all right, clean up that one, and that one.
Yeah.
And you still got 12 projects laying around that you can work on.
Yeah. She likes doing her art, and she's very, very good at it.
Yeah.
She showed me a picture today that she drew of a horse. It looked like kind of like a My Little Pony. You saw it? She showed it to you. Yeah. It looked really good. But she's always drawing something, doing something artistic. So she did really good at things.
So now we have to take pictures. I'll put it in the Facebook group. Show her eggs in the Facebook group.
I do have a picture of her holding that very first one that I was talking about.
Okay. We got to find that egg from that last year with the chick on it too.
Yeah.
What else we got? Talk about Lana. She's got prom.
Oh yeah. So Lana went to a winter dance this year, and now they're having prom. And apparently you can go when you're 12 and older. And so she's going to prom this year.
So we told Natalie's mom. She said, "Oh my, who invited her?"
Yeah,
nobody. She's just going.
She's just going with friends. She has a friend in the homeschool group, and they're both going. It's not like they're going together. They're gonna see each other there. But yeah.
Yeah, she loved it. She had a great time Heck, I had fun last time. I took the RV. I hung out. I had a great night. It was just a.
Me and the boys just stayed home and did our regular.
Our RV is spacious when it's open. It's great, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
You know how spacious it is when it's just you in the car?
Yeah, you got all that room.
Honey, it is so nice. People. It is so nice. Yeah. Anyway.
You don't have to compete for a seat.
Yeah, it's great. I can change seats whenever I want. So now that it's springtime, I told Natalie I had to go work on the trails. We had such a crazy October last year with 50 shows in October. And November, it was like it rained the first 3 weeks of November. And then all of a sudden, it was just brutal cold. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go mow the trails in Christmas time.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, why do it in January? Why do it in February? And now we're in March. I'm like, I should have done this months ago. This has been sitting down here for forever. But we got like 4 inches of leaves. I mean, it's so
haven't even
thick.
mowed the yard yet. I mean, it's not like it's.
But I'm trying to get the trails done for Easter so that we can hide eggs back there.
Okay.
That's fun.
Well, I think the little kids. I think Lex and Julian won't be back in the trails.
Lana just sprinkled them along the trails and just on the sides. Oh, we got to talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But so my trails like V off and do different figure eights and different things. And how does it go? It goes up, it goes around, it goes up.
Okay.
This way.
Anyway, yes.
How does it
amazing
do?
Trails.
Like
It's not going to make sense to
3 figure eights though, at least.
Okay.
And then
Anyway.
it spirals down here and spirals. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, continue. People are going to be bored with you.
My lawnmower is broken, so that little flap that shoots everything out is gone. So the wind kicked up, and I'm out there doing it, and my face is just black, and I'm covered in dirt. I couldn't see; it was hitting me in the face. Natalie got me goggles, and I'm out there. Whenever the wind's blowing at me, I'm like, and I'm just pushing it, and it's blowing all this crap at me. But what I mowed looks great.
Yeah.
Have you seen what I've mowed so far?
Yeah. Looks good.
Anyway, I couldn't breathe for 2 days afterwards because
allergies.
Allergies for one, and then I sucked up all that dirt for hours mowing, and I just got a third of the trails done so far. Yeah, but Natalie and Lana had a play date. Daddy at Mama Daughter Night.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna say me and my mom did, but yeah, yes, me and Lana had a Mother Daughter Day. So she's been asking for one for a while. So we finally had a day where we could do it, and we went out shopping. We went to a few shops. She had some money burning a hole in her pocket, so she wanted to go to Target and get Athmau stuff. I got her a shirt at Kohl's that she likes.
Now, what is Athmau? You have to tell people because I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it YouTube something?
Sure. You can find it on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Lana likes it, and yeah, there's like little squishies that they have that you can buy. I think that's what she got. But anyway, and then we went to Barnes and Nobles and we got some books. And we went to dinner. She wanted to go to Red Robin, so we went to Red Robin, and then we went and saw a movie. We went and saw Madam Web.
And everybody said it was awful in the reviews, and I'm warning her about it. Like, the reviews are terrible.
But it was the only thing out. Like, I'd never seen Dune, so I didn't want to go see Dune 2. The other thing was a scary movie that, I'd go to see with Willow, but I'd be up for days with Lana if she saw it. There wasn't anything but that playing. And so I showed the preview to Lana. I said, I think it looks good. She's like, I think it looks good. So we went to see it, and we had no expectations. I had no idea what it was about. I guess it's based on a comic. I've never read the comic. I don't know. We both liked it. Okay. I think it was a good movie.
I saw 15 comments or 15 different videos saying it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing ever made. And I was like, you sure you want to waste your money on it?
It's not the worst thing ever made. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
That's great. That's good.
Yeah.
So I think it might be that they're judging it because they read the book. That
probably.
Must be what it is. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe it sucks if you've read the book, but if you haven't, you know nothing about it, it's a good movie. I liked it.
But while they were doing that, she said, get the boys outside, wear their little butts out so they have a good quiet time. So Lana, that
was when I went to visit my mom.
Oh, was it?
I don't know what you did with the boys. Did you take them outside, or was it too cold that day? It was rainy that day. When Lana and I were out, it was raining all day.
Well, we were going. What did we do?
You stayed in, and you said you were going to watch a movie with them and eat popcorn. I don't know if you ever did or not.
No, because I didn't know when to. I didn't want to eat it before quiet time, get them hopped up on, because I want to put cinnamon sugar in it for them.
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to do it afterwards because get them hopped up for nighttime. I didn't know when to give it to them.
No, it would have been fine either way. Probably before quiet time, because.
Yeah.
But anyway, Anyway, they hung out. All the boys hung out while me and Lana did it.
We watched. They watched the Simpsons movie and they laughed out loud. And they love America's Funniest Home Videos, and
Yeah.
they laughed out loud. What's funny, when they watch AFV, they'll start walking around the room and they just fall down and they think it's hilarious. They just, hey, look at me, and they fall down and they point and laugh at each other. They're like,
They have a good
they're
time.
little stooges.
Yeah.
But while she was with her mom,
Yes, I had a
That's what
mother-daughter
it
day
was.
with my mommy. I went and met her, and we just kind of did the same thing, but we didn't do a movie. We just went around and looked at some shops. I got some Easter decorations while we were there.
and she was saying, we're going to get the Easter decorations out of the attic tonight. We're going to dye eggs tomorrow, and we'll do this and do this.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, I know the Easter decorations are in the attic. I'll go get the baskets down. And I'm looking for something to do with the boys because all they're doing is playing in dirt. So we'll get Lana to have some eggs and they'll practice picking up eggs because Lana was horrible at it when she was a baby.
And they didn't really do that great last year.
Lana
were
was
like-
horrible when she was a baby. Yeah.
Yeah, but the boys would just pick it up and then just drop it.
Right.
Like,
They didn't care.
They didn't care last year.
So I figure if we do a couple practice rounds, it'd be good to go. So Lana hid some eggs on our trails and it was so funny. Lex, he'd pick it up and he'd say, Dad, Dad, Dad. And he'd throw it because I'm holding the basket and he's trying to score points. That's not how we collect
funny.
eggs, dude.
That's hilarious.
And then Julian's walking around. He's got 12 of them. He's got underneath his chin, underneath his armpit. And he's trying to, and he's
He
just
doesn't
collecting
wanna
them.
give
He
up-
doesn't want to
give
put
'em
any of them down, and they're falling out.
That's
So
funny.
totally different.
Well,
totally
they get to go to an Easter egg hunt while we're gone. So our church is having an Easter egg hunt on Saturday that we're in Vegas. So Will is going to take them and have them do Easter. So that'll be another kind of like a practice run.
And then when we get home, we're working for the Shriners
Yeah,
on that Saturday.
on Saturday they're
And they
doing
get
an
to do Easter egg hunt
That's true. They will. That'll be fun. And then they'll get to do another one on Easter here at our house.
So they'll get it.
They'll get oh my gosh, they're gonna be loaded down with candy. Holy night.
The Shriners are really cool. The Shriners, the clowns dress up and they really wanted our babies to, or they wanted Lana
to participate.
They haven't had the babies yet. But anyway, that's gonna be fun. We did a corporate show.
Monday.
Yeah, 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was fun. I was a little worried, just because he had classes that he was teaching for a homeschool group. Then he had to come home, and I told Lex was sick, so we ended up leaving Willow and the boys home, which normally they would come with us, but he was sick, so they stayed home. So I told Lana, I said, we need to be in the RV when your dad pulls up in the van because he's just gonna walk straight over and we're gonna leave. And I had dinner packed so we could just eat on the ride there. And the reason I was nervous is because they got the hour and a half big show. And
Full evening illusion show with intermission.
yes, full shebang. And with him already having classes, they wanted the show to start at 7:30. We're not going to get there till 5:30. That's only 2 hours to set up. And normally we give ourselves 3 to 4 hours to set up. So I told the lady when she booked it, I said, here's the deal. We can do it. I said, but I need close parking, and we're driving an RV and a trailer, and I need full access to the stage. Like, I can't have people still getting off the stage when we get there. I need an empty, full access straight to the stage so that we can set up.
No bands, no prizes,
Right.
no
I'm like-
awards banquet, no anything. We just need the stage.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not trying to be difficult. We only have 2 hours to set up something that normally takes us 3 to 4. I said, we can do it as long as those needs are met. And they were awesome. We pulled right up to the door that was closest to their banquet room. And she was like, you can just leave it there. You don't even have to move after you've unloaded. Like,
From the stage, we could see the
that's
RV.
awesome. And so,
Right?
and yeah, and then nothing was on the stage. Nobody was on our way to get to the stage. we were ready to go, and we still had like 45 minutes before the show started.
They had a projector already set up for us. We hooked up our phone to their projector so we could project.
They had used it. Apparently, they used it for something earlier in the day.
We used their sound system and their mic. They wanted us to use their stuff. Does this work? Can you
Yeah,
plug
they're
into
like,
our stuff?
do you want to use it? And I was like, well, we have our own. Well,
That'll
if
save us
you're
time.
offering, you know, sure. And I mean, yeah, so that saved us a ton of time. So
Yeah,
we were set up, ready to go, and it went great.
the only thing was the stage wasn't huge. It was great size.
Yeah,
but that's why we needed the intermission, because we had to get illusions off and reset
put
illusions.
Others on, yeah. And I told her, you know, I said, there's not, you know, nobody's selling. Like, for a lot of our shows, we sell magic at intermission, and the people who are putting on the show sell concessions, whatever. There was none of that there. We weren't selling magic. It was a corporate event. They wanted a fun evening for everybody after they had all these meetings all day. This was their reward, I guess, for doing all that hard work.
It was a potty break time.
So there was no selling. So I told her, I said, I would tell you that we could just skip intermission. I said, but I can't. We have to be able to switch illusions in and out and do a couple things with animals, because we don't want them sitting that long. And I said, but it'll be a good chance for people to use the bathroom, get a drink, whatever. And we can make it shorter if you want us to make it shorter. And I think it really was only like a 10-minute intermission, because we just had to take a couple of, and I needed a potty break. So,
but besides that, I think we could have been done in 6 minutes. But the boss was saying there were people still in the hallway, so he said,
"Yeah, give us a couple minutes. Let's get everybody back in."
Yeah,
that's fine. So,
but it was a great night. It was a lot of fun. They
were
had a blast.
Good audience.
The boss was funny though, because he was like a dad. He was you know, dad jokes. So he kept telling his employees that I was going to saw him in half, and that, you know, I watched his videos online. Did you know he has poisonous snakes in his show? What are you talking about? So they come out to the thing. Are you going to saw somebody in half tonight? They're watching us when we're unloading. They came out in the parking lot, and I'm like, no, I'm doing other illusions. I'm not sawing anybody. Oh, because I was hoping you could saw my boss in that. Yeah, we're not doing that tonight. Ha ha ha. And then they come out a couple minutes later.
So looking at the animal cages.
Then they come out a couple minutes later, and they're, you guys need something else? You guys all right? You got a question or anything? Well, what kind of animals do you guys have? And I'm like, oh, I have doves and rabbits, and they're the bosses. They're actually the people that hired us.
Yeah.
So, because the main boss didn't make phone calls, and I got the dove out, let them pet the dove, let them pet the bunnies. And then they were like, oh, it's so cute, and they left. And then the boss came in and said, dude, I told them that you had poisonous snakes. That's why they came out so sheepish.
Spitting camels.
That's why they came out so sheepish, asking us what kind of animals they had.
Yeah, it all made sense later. But yeah, they were fun. They were a good audience. They participated. It was a fun night. And everything went smoother than smooth. So I didn't need to worry at all. It was, you know how sometimes you talk to people and you tell them what you need, and then you get there and they just didn't listen. They're apparently going, on the phone.
Like 90% of our other shows. Now, here's the thing. That's
what I was worried about. Like, we were going to have to park way back in the back of the parking lot and go the furthest distance possible for each trip. And it takes us quite a few trips to get everything in. And people were going to be on stage, or they were going to still be talking, but then they'd want us to start right on time. But we had just gotten on the stage a half hour beforehand. How are we supposed to do this? You know, and so, you know, but they knew, they had it all set. They did great. I was so happy.
Not our most recent illusion show prior to this, because we've done a few this month, but the most recent school fundraiser illusion show, we told them we need close proximity parking. Oh, the loading dock right behind the stage would be perfect. We go back there. That takes you to loading, like where they load in the food for the cafeteria, because the stage is in the front of the school, but they didn't want us parking there because the buses are still unloading. So after we walk all the way through the school and see the stage, there's drama class on it. They have class until 5:30. Well, we got here at 3:30 to start loading in, because the show starts at 7.
6:30. It started at 6:30.
Yeah. And it's like, all right, well, nobody told us. So we have to figure out what class we go to, or where we go. Oh, geez. So
And they had stuff all over the stage. It was all set up.
So it was literally 45 minutes for our parking spot. Then we had to wait over an hour for the people to get off the stage. Then we could start loading in. Then we could start doing the show. That night, we literally had no time before the curtain opened.
No, we were scrambling to get it all set up.
But that's all in our contract. That's all in our contract.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? You're gonna raise a stink and they'll never hire you again.
No, you just have to do the best you can do. And
And that's why you were worried about that corporate event.
Yeah, that's why I was worried about the corporate event. I was afraid it was going to be something like that, and
we wouldn't have time.
And see that we gave ourselves 4 hours. Thank goodness, right? And we made it on time. This I only had 2 hours, and so if all of that had happened, we would have been in trouble. That's why I was more nervous than anything else. Was because we only had 2 hours, and if they didn't take me seriously when I'm saying I need close proximity, I need the stage access right away, all this stuff, if they hadn't taken us seriously, it would have come back on us because they weren't ready on time. They wouldn't have realized that it's because we didn't do, we were in their way, we weren't doing what we were supposed to do.
They started their show 30 minutes late.
Right. It would have been, man, those magicians, they're not punctual. So it always lands back on you. So, but they did great. It was perfect. It was wonderful. We were set up and ready to go early. So.
And in a normal illusion show, Natalie's selling. So I'm doing everything behind the curtain. She leaves me a list.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Wes, do this first. You have to do this with the bunny. You have to do this with the dove. This illusion goes behind the curtain. This illusion comes out to the mid-range curtain.
Set up this trick because it's in the second act.
And when you're all done with that, bring me a drink while I'm selling. It's awesome because I'm like, it's a checklist for me. That's perfect. Because I go back there and I'll start moving one illusion, and then I'll start doing something else. Oh, the bunny.
Yeah.
And then I'll forget to finish that one. So that checklist really helps. But we're tying it all back in the last couple minutes to Vegas. I just got a notification on my phone. This is what it says. Are you ready for this one? Hey, Wes. Monday is good. What time on Monday is good for you?
We get to go hiking. Yay!
So we had Dustin Marks on our podcast. Go back and listen to that interview. He's the guy that took down Vegas. I don't know. Was it $2 million, $20 million?
I don't remember, but it
was a lot.
Statute of limitations is up, so he's allowed to talk about it now.
But he also takes people on hikes. And when you go for a hike, you go to a certain mountain cliff, he gives you an ace of spades. You go to a certain trail, he gives you a 2 of diamonds. And he has 54 trails, and you get a full deck of cards with the jokers and everything. And you get a complete package. He's 54 trails hiked out.
So we get one, because, we don't live out there.
I don't know if we'll get the card, but I'm going to ask him.
Okay.
I'll frame it. I'll put it in my magic card.
Yeah.
But he just got back to us. So we're trying to get the itinerary together, right?
Yeah.
So far, we're going to go see Matt Franco.
We're going to get into Vegas. Once we get to have our hotel room, I want to take a nap because it is 10 o'clock at night. We're not getting to bed till 11. We have to be out the door by 2:30.
We're not getting bed at 11. I have to wait for Zoom to send me the email. Then I have to download the email. Okay. I have to put it on YouTube, and I have to put it on all the...
I'm getting to bed at 11. We have to leave the house at 2:30. That'll get us there at 3:30 to be in the air at 5. So that's not getting up at 2:30. That's getting up at 2, at least.
Well, at least I don't have to do my hair.
So we get there, and we're getting there Vegas time. Yeah, you're right. We're getting there Vegas time. It's 9:40 something. So it'll be 12 something here, but 9:40 something there in the morning, which will be nice. So we're going to have to figure out something, check it. And we can leave our luggage with the hotel and then figure out what to do until we can actually go to our room. And I'm going to need a nap. I know I'm going to need a nap. I'm not good without my sleep. Then that evening, go ahead.
We are going to go see Matt Franco. We got the hookup with going to see Matt Franco, and we get to meet him afterwards. I've never met him. I don't know Matt Franco except for what I've seen on TV, and so I'm excited. I get to go see Matt. We're gonna go see Copperfield. We're gonna go.
We don't have that pinned down yet. Saturday is when you have to do your rehearsal and perform. He's gonna be doing flip at the Rio.
Friday, we're gonna go to meet Moxie at the Rio and hang out and watch Penn and Teller rehearse.
Yeah.
So that's
That'll
Thursday,
be
Friday,
nice.
Saturday.
Saturday is you. I mean, I'm sure we can do something in the beginning part of the day, but then
Sunday,
evening is taken.
Sunday, we're
we'll-
gonna go see Piff the Magic Dragon.
And hang out with Ray Lum.
Yes, and Ray, and Greg Leeson get to come see me do Flip. They're my guests for Flip. And then Sunday is Ray
and Piff.
and Piff.
Monday is hike. And who knows what else. You'll have to ask him, well, how long is the hike? When's the best time of day? I don't want it to be butt crack of dawn, but you know.
What if he says 6 a.m. because the sunrise is the best time?
I don't know.
It's only 3 a.m. here.
Oh God. No, it would be 9 a.m. here.
Would it? No? Yes.
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 Yeah.
Anyway.
That's still early.
That's still early. Anyway, so hike Monday. Tuesday's open. I don't know what we're doing Tuesday yet.
That's when we're going to see Copperfield because everything else is booked.
You think so?
Well, we got Monday night, maybe. I mean, I don't think we're hiking in the desert at nighttime.
Or Friday evening.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Somewhere on there. And then we're coming home on Wednesday.
But we
can't really do anything Wednesday. We have to get to the airport.
We got a jam-packed week planned, and I'm so daggone excited. And by the time you're listening to this, we'll be in the middle of that. So Wednesday, what do we have Wednesday next week?
We're coming home.
So we'll be in the airport. We'll be in the air when this airs. So
Yep.
Wish us
But
safe
we'll be
travels.
home. We won't be walking in our door till the early hours of that Thursday morning. We have a bit
Long layover, I guess.
bit more of a layover on the
Yeah.
way home than. Plus, you're losing 3 hours instead of gaining 3
That's
hours.
true.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it. Next time you see us, we'll be home from Vegas. We're gonna recap all of that for you. We
Mhm.
have that planned, and then we got some surprises in the works for maybe Vegas headliner podcast guests. We'll see.
That'll
We'll
be
see.
fun.
But anyway, guys, thanks for listening to us ramble. Thanks for letting us fill you in. Next time we'll fill you in on a Vegas trip, and then we'll get back to getting some guests on here. But I think that's about everything, right?
Yeah.
Only one more thing left to say. See you next week.
Check us out online at wesisley.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled WESISELI.